Today we'll be discussing on planning construction resources, and the part what we are going to cover is materials. This part is further divided into different subparts or sections. The section we'll be dealing with is ABC classification of materials. The primary purpose of classifying materials is control their quality, cost and timely supply. There are many factors that need consideration while classifying materials, and this include storage space, shelf life, supply reliability, inventory cost, ease of identification, construction sequence, transportation requirements, prices, procurement time, procurement source, and life of the project. In general, the construction material can be grouped in one of the following categories. The first category what is categorized is bulk, one-time purchase, repetitive use and minor materials. The second category is the one in which the material is classified based on vital, essential and desirable materials. The third category is indigenous and imported materials. The next category is high priced, medium priced and low priced materials. The last category is high usage value, medium usage value and low usage value, and this is the most commonly used method for classifying materials in construction industry. This classification is achieved by using ABC analysis. In this slide, we'll be discussing on ABC grouping. The ABC analysis is generally used for control of regular stock items. The past studies have shown that regular stock items, depending upon their periodic requirement and cost, can be grouped in three categories, that is A, B and C classification of material. Now if you see this table, there is the A group items have 10% of the total consumption of the items, whereas the inventory cost is 70% and they are classified as high usage value materials or items. The class B or group B items are 20% of the items which constitute 20% of the inventory cost and are classified as medium usage value items. The class C items are the ones which constitute 10% of the inventory cost and the total items will be 70% and they are low usage items. In the graph of value of stock in percentage versus stock items in percentage, what you can see on the screen, if you see number of items consumed which is mentioned on y-axis and their values on x-axis, referring graph we can demarcate all items in ABC classes. From the graph we can see that 10% of items have consumed 70% value of total cost, 20% of the items value 20% of the total cost and so on. In order to classify the materials in ABC classification, there is a methodology which you can see. The first step is to identify the materials required and estimate the total quantity of materials and quality of each material. Thereafter, you are supposed to obtain the approximate unit rate of each item. The next step is assessing the requirement during the construction period of these items. The next step is determine the usage value of each type by multiplying the quantity required with the corresponding unit rates. Further, we have to calculate the percentage usage value of each material with respect to the total project or yearly usage cost. Write their percentage against each item in the appropriate column. The next step is arrange the items in descending order of usage, and further we have to compute the cumulative usage value against each item. Thereafter, we are supposed to draw two horizontal lines demarcating the descending order of the cumulative percentage value at 70% level and 20% level. The three groups separated by the above two horizontal lines starting in the descending order of the usage value can classify materials in these classifications, that is A group, B group and C group. Coming to the last part, that is the application part. In material management, ABC analysis is used in the areas needing selective control such as policy formulation, procurement planning, inventory planning and control, quality inspection and storekeeping. The ABC analysis can assist in developing policy guidelines for exercising selective control on material supplies, and which you can see in the tabular form which is given. Now if you see here, the degree of control required in case of A classification, it is very strict control, whereas in B it is moderate and C it is loose. To forecast the accuracy or the requirement of material, we have to accurately find out the quantity of material required in case of A, whereas approximate in case of B and rough quantities in case of C group items. As far as ordering powers or authority is concerned, in case of A items, senior level person has to place a order or has the authority to place a order, whereas in case of B it is a middle level, and in case of C a junior level person can also place the order. As far as suppliers to be contacted, we have to see that maximum suppliers are contacted in case of A items so as to get good rate and reliable supply, whereas in case of B items it may range from 3 to 5 reliable suppliers. Coming to the safety stock, A items it is low, B items it is moderate and C items it is adequate. Now the frequency of ordering will depend upon as and when required in case of A items, whereas based on EOQ basis, that is economic order quantity in case of B items and bulk ordering in case of C items. And this particular thing goes on. The ABC analysis depends upon the usage value of the item of the material consumed during the project life and not on the unit cost of the material. This we have to keep in mind. It is not on the unit cost of the material but based on the usage value of the item during the entire process of construction. It does not rely on the importance of material. It is not related to the construction sequence. ABC items can be grouped or further split into categories like locally available items and imported items.